look, these are tremendous sanctions. These are very big. Those are against their two big oil companies, and we hope that they won't be on for long. We hope that the war will be settled.
If our oil and our petroleum product will be removed from the global market, the prices will grow.
President Trump has imposed sanctions on Russian oil. The United States has sanctioned Russian oil giants Rosneft and Lukoil, which together contribute about 8% of the world's total oil supply. However, President Putin claims that Russia is immune to US sanctions. Here's what President Trump has to say on that.
I'm glad he feels that way. That's good. I'll let you know about it in 6 months from now, okay? Let's see how it all works out.
In an attempt to end the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict, the United States has imposed sanctions on two Russian oil giants to increase pressure on the Kremlin's energy sector. However, will this affect the Russian economy? Here's what President Putin has to say.
As for the politics, what do we have here? It is an attempt to exert pressure on Russia. But no self-respecting country, no self-respecting nation will never make any decisions under pressure. And obviously, Russia has this privilege, has this prerogative to be among this list of self-respecting countries and nations. Speaking about the politics of it, then, of course, it's an unfriendly step towards Russia. It is obvious. It is not going to strengthen Russian-American relations that we have just started to restore with such actions, with such steps. The U.S. administration is damaging the U.S.-Russia relations. As for
oil prices rose by more than $1 per barrel, extending gains from the previous session after the United States imposed sanctions on Russian oil companies Rosneft and Lukoil over the Ukraine war. The US said it was prepared to take further action as it called on Moscow to agree immediately to a ceasefire in its war against Ukraine.
If our oil and our petroleum product will be removed from the global market, the prices will grow. And we discussed it with my American counterpart. It will result into the spike, in the upsurge in the fuel, in the energy, including at the gas stations, including the U.S. The United States will not be excluded from this. And if we look at the calendar, at the political calendar in the U.S., we can understand how sensitive these matters are. And if such decisions are made, we need to understand who will benefit from those. But for us, it is important that we feel confident, we feel stable, and despite some losses that we will obviously face due to a number of circumstances, our energy sector feels quite confident.
Right after the US sanctions were announced, Brent and WTI futures rose by more than $2 a barrel, boosted also by growing US energy demand. Plans for a proposed meeting between President Donald Trump and President Vladimir Putin in Budapest have been put on hold by President Trump after imposing sanctions on Russian oil.
And yes, I heard the statement that the U.S. president decided to cancel or postpone the summit. More likely he's speaking about postponing the summit. Well, what can I say? Dialogue is always better than confrontation, dispute, or especially war. So we always supported this continuation of dialogue, and we continue to support this. As for the statements by the President of the United States, well, what can I say? During the latest phone conversation, and both the summit itself and its location were suggested by the American side, and I agreed to this. But I expressed my thoughts to this regard, and I said, obviously, summits like these need to be prepared well, both for myself and for the U.S. president. It would be a mistake to approach it light-mindedly and not to have any results, any outcome after such a summit. And the U.S.